Arian Zognaba. Mr. Zognaba, please raise your right hand. Your other right. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth. Raise your right hand, Mr. Zognaba, and keep it up in there until you take your oath. Mr. Zognaba, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Miss Shelby Leonard, would you raise your right hand and tell me that your hand is in the air? There you go. Miss Leonard, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down now. All right, Miss Simone, this appears to be an original petition that was filed in April of 2023.
Yes, sir.
So the state's allegation is that there was a child that was born of the marriage between Miss Leonard and Mr. Zognaba. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Mr. Schlander, you represent Mr. Zognaba?
Yes, sir.
And you have filed an answer and a request for DNA testing in this case. Is that also correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You may go forward, Mr. Schlander, and present your evidence as to why you think you should have a DNA test.
Okay. I'll call Mr. Zagnagli. Mr. Zagnagli, were you and your wife, ex-wife, Miss Shelby Leonard, divorced in 2022?
Yes, sir.
In that divorce decree, does it state that there are no children of the marriage?
Yes, and the divorce is showing that there was no children because she was pregnant when we started the process, and
you're asking court for DNA testing to confirm whether or not you're the father. Is that right?
Yes, I asked him for a DNA test because I feel like every time she be like she want me to send money, that's when she show me the kid, or she send me a picture of him, and every time, like, sometimes she been using the kid, like, you're not gonna see your son, you're not gonna, like, if I'm the father of the son, it shouldn't be like no money stuff involved for me to be able to see the son or stuff like that. That's why I'm bringing it out, and I see, like, I need a DNA test done on it.
I asked you in the past whether or not you signed an acknowledgement of paternity.
No, I didn't. I didn't sign it. No, I didn't sign it because I wasn't there when the child was born.
And do you know how your name got on the child's birth certificate, if it is on the child's birth certificate?
I never see the child birth certificate. I don't know nothing about this info. I don't have his social. I don't have anything pertaining to my son or the child.
So if in fact your name appears on the child's birth certificate, you don't know how it got there. Is that what your testimony is?
Yes.
And it's your testimony that you did not sign an acknowledgement of paternity. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so that there could be some type of fraud or misrepresentations made that could have resulted in this child having your last name and or your appearance on the child's birth certificate. Is that right?
Sir.
You're asking court to order the DNA testing so that we can get to the bottom of this. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness.
Your witness, Ms. Simone.
I have no questions.
Your next witness, Mr. Slam.
That's all I have.
Okay. So just so before I get to Miss Leonard, so I've got a child that was certainly conceived while the parties were married. Is that correct, Mr. Slander?
Yes, sir.
I got a divorce that was granted in May of 2022. The child was not yet born, but the mother was 5 or 6 months pregnant at the time the divorce was granted. So far, we're on the same track.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Zognaba, did you prepare the divorce and go in front of the judge in Harris County?
Yeah, I prepared the divorce, but she signed it.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, did you prepare the divorce?
Yes, I did.
Did you have a hearing in front of a judge in Harris County?
I think they did it. That it was like during COVID, so I think like The hearing, I don't think they did a hearing or stuff like that. But
All right, so you didn't have to go in front of the judge?
no,
And surely Miss Leonard didn't have to make an appearance in front of the judge either, right?
yes,
So no judge in Harris County knew that at the time that he or she granted y'all's divorce, the mother was 6 months pregnant.
no.
Well, that was definitely fraudulent. All right. But it doesn't get me past the problem. All right. Miss Leonard, can you unmute?
Yes, sir.
So you agreed to this divorce back in May of 2022. Yeah, that is your signature that appears on the document.
No, sir. And I
you-
have.
So you didn't. So you, just answer my question, Miss Leonard. I didn't ask for an explanation. Okay.
Okay.
So you didn't sign this divorce decree back in 2022?
No, sir. He
Huh?
signed it.
So you're saying that he forged your signature on that divorce decree?
Yes, sir. And I have proof that I was at work here in Jefferson County.
Yeah, you'll have to take that up in the Harris County court in regards to that divorce. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what you may or may not have known when this divorce was granted. Okay. Well, Miss Leonard, can you think of any reason why, I shouldn't grant this request for DNA? I got a child that's not even 2 years old yet.
Yes, sir. He's saying that he's saying that I was 6 months pregnant in May of 2022. But
No, you didn't say that. I said that.
Okay, my son was born December 11th of 2021.
Right.
My son was 4 months old when that divorce decree was signed.
Okay.
And we were still
4 or
married.
5 months. Okay, that's correct.
And so now my son is about to turn 2, and he's just now saying that he wants DNA.
Right.
And he was at the child's first birthday, his
Right.
circumcision, doctor's appointments. He's financially supported the child up until July 14th of 2023.
Okay, so you're saying that even if he's not the biological father of the child, that he's acted like the child's father since the child was born?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let me ask you a really hard question. You ready, Miss Leonard?
Yes, sir.
Is there a chance that Mr. Zognaba is not the father of this child?
No, sir.
All right. So it really doesn't hurt anything then to take a DNA test, does it?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to grant the DNA request.
Yes, sir.
What day are we coming back, Miss Simone?
I'm looking into January. I believe it would be any Thursday or Friday. Mr. Schlender, are you available?
He is physically looking at his calendar as we speak.
Any Thursday or Friday, you said?
So any day.
How about the 18th?
18th?
18th.
Okay.
All right. That's what we will do. I will reset the case until January the 18th.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Schlander, do you have any objection to me signing the request for DNA without your signature?
I do not, but Judge, is that going to give us enough time to get the results back?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
They'll get the results back in a week if the parties go test.
Okay. So
that'll be the key, Mr. Schlander, is that everybody cooperates with the AG's office and gets the testing completed.
I don't know where Ms. Leonard's located, but he's in Houston, so probably need to set up.
I'm in Shreveport right now, so it can set up in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
We can set up near a location that he's near.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Schlander, they can set up the DNA test anywhere in the United States. Plus, as your client, they can get it.
Except by Zoom.
Well, you can't do DNA testing by Zoom. That is correct.
Not yet, at least. So.
Okay.
Miss Leonard, what's going to happen is the state's going to send me a DNA order, called a paternity test order. I'm going to sign it, get it back to them. Then they're going to reach out to you and set up a date and a time and a place, you and Arian, to go show up and take your DNA test. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then we'll come back here on January the 18th, and everybody should have had the results by then. All right.
Okay.
And if those DNA tests show that Mr. Zognaba is the father of the child, then I'm going to have a hearing and determine conservatorship, visitation, child support, medical support, retroactive child support, and court costs. Okay.
Okay.
If they show that he's not the father, then I'm just going to enter an order that says he's not the dad. So that's what'll happen when we come back here in January. All right.
Okay.
You have any questions, Ms. Leonard?
No. I did contact an attorney,
Good.
And I'll be meeting with him tomorrow as well.
You will probably not have a copy of the reset order by that time, Ms. Leonard. So just understand I'm resetting this case till January the 18th
Okay.
at 9 a.m. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Slander, do you or your client have anything to add?
No, sir.
All right. Miss Randy Bell, would you raise your right hand and tell me that your hand is in the air?
It's in the air.
Miss Bell, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. All right, let's see. It looks like we're attempting to default Mr. Moblin in this case. Is that correct, Mr. Slett?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Let's see if we've got some service on Mr. Moblin. The court's going to find that Mr. Moblin was personally served with citation in this case in Austin, Texas on July the 20th of 2023. That citation is returning on file from the Travis County back to Jefferson County and on file with our district clerk starting July the 27th of 2023. So that's been on file for at least 10 days. His answer time has expired. He has not filed an answer in this case. All right, let's see if the state sent him notice of this hearing. The court's going to find that Mr. Moblin did in fact receive notice of this hearing as per the rules. In this case is right for default. Do you have any other witnesses, Mr. Slate, that asked you that?
No, but no, I do not.
All right. So I do note, Mr. Slett, for the record, that back in August, I ordered DNA testing in this case. Is that due to the fact that there's a presumed father in this suit?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. And you have sent me a copy of the DNA report between the presumed father, Mr. Henry Giles, and the child?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Let me get that up on the screen. Ms. Bell, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the DNA test results for the child between you and the presumed father, Henry Giles. Is it okay if I look at this report?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to call this State's Exhibit A. I'm going to admit this into evidence and make the finding that the presumed father has been DNA tested. And I'm going to find, based on those results after they've now been admitted, that Mr. Giles is not the biological father of this child. And I'm going to enter into an order that specifically states that Henry Giles has been excluded and is not the biological father of the child. All right, you may proceed.
Okay, I'll call Miss Bell. And who is Jarvis' father?
Jarvis Trayvon Moblin.
Okay. Could there be anybody else that is the father?
No, sir.
And who does Jarvis live with?
He resides with me.
Okay. How long has she lived with you?
Since she was born.
All right. And was there ever a time that that Mr. Moblin lived together with you and the child?
Yes, the first 2 years of her life.
Okay. And so about when did that stop? When did y'all separate?
Once he had got incarcerated, that was around like, I want to say June of, right before the second year mark, June of 2000 and, I want to say 2010.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bell. All right, so how old is Jarvis?
He just turned 14.
All right. Does Mr. Moblin visit with Jarvis at all?
He sees her when we are in Austin, and he'll come by and visit her, for a few hours. And that's the only visitation he does.
Okay. How often would you say that is?
From most likely around once a year.
Okay. And so has she ever spent the night with him? Has there ever been any overnight visits?
No.
Okay. What is the relationship like between Jarvis and Mr. Moblin?
Right now they are at odds because of a new child, and the way he choose to treat his other children and he treats her. So as
Okay.
right now they're not on good terms.
Okay. But would you say that for just about all of Jarve's life, she known Mr. Moblin as her father?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
How's Jarve covered on medical insurance?
He's under my medical insurance under the state of Texas.
Okay. And how much does that cost you per month?
I believe it's $126 per child.
Okay, that 126, does that include medical and dental, or is that only medical?
That's medical and dental. I think the dental is, I want to say 20 or 30 something dollars. I'm not sure on the correct breakdown.
Okay. So the dental is about 20 to 30, and the medical would be about 100 to 95 based on those figures. Is there anything else included in that? Maybe vision?
Yes, she does have vision coverage.
Okay. Does that 126 include the vision as well?
I believe so.
Okay. Do you know how much the vision is per month?
I think the vision is the least expensive. I want to say maybe $10, maybe.
Okay. I think what you told us is good enough.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Bell, so are you asking for any retroactive child support in this case?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you know what Mr. Moblin does for work?
He sells narcotics.
Other than that, do you know if he holds a job?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And has he in the past?
He did hold a job at ABC. It was ABC. So I had put it on the initial application, his employment when he was employed, and that's where they served him. But I can't. I just know it's ABC something when he was working there.
Okay. Do you know about when that was, like a time frame?
That was around. He was for sure working there at the summertime of last year up until I want to say somewhere second quarter of this year.
Okay. And do you know how much he was getting paid at that job?
No. The only thing I heard, which I don't know if it was true, was around $16 an hour. Yeah.
Okay. Objection to the hearsay, Your Honor. Okay. So let me ask you this: do you know if Mr. Moblin has been declared disabled and unable to work in any way?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all I have. I pass the witness, Your Honor. State rest.
Miss Bell, did you say that Mr. Moblin was in the penitentiary in 2011?
Yes, he did go serve time.
How long was he in prison for?
He served prison time, I want to say, roughly 4 years when he was in it.
All right. So he's been out of prison for the last several years, is what you're telling me?
Yes, for the last 3 years that I know of, for sure.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Bell, you said that Mr. Moblin has never had the child overnight by himself. Do you think that it would be in the child's best interest if I ordered to have some kind of phased in visitation schedule?
He can have visitation as long as I'm not liable for anything that happens while she's with him.
Well, I mean, I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how you would be liable.
I only say that because previous times when I let her when he got arrested, she was with him, and that kind of put me in a bind with CPS and stuff. So I'm just stating that because we've had that issue in the past.
Okay.
Because he was arrested.
So if I said, he could have weekend visitations as long as but I mean, he's going to have to come to Jefferson County and pick her up. You don't have a problem with him having
correct? Oh,
okay.
No, I don't have a problem.
Okay. Well, that takes care of that. Now, as far as you getting into trouble with CPS, I don't have any control over that. If they find that you shouldn't have given the child over to him because he was obviously intoxicated or inebriated, that might be a different story, okay?
Okay, I can decline if I feel like it's unsafe. I can decline a visit.
Well, you can. Just remember that he could turn around and file against you for denying him his access rights, and you'd have to be prepared to defend yourself from that lawsuit, okay?
That's fine.
All right.
That's fine. Absolutely.
Miss Bell, that's the best way I can answer that question for you, okay?
Okay, that works.
Any other questions, Miss Bell?
Nope.
Anything further, Mr. Slett?
Oh, nothing further, Your Honor.
Court's going to find the court has jurisdiction. The court's going to find, based on the testimony of Miss Bell, I'm going to find that Jarvis Trayvon Moblin is the biological father. I'm going to name him as that child's legal father. I'm going to find that it is not in the child's best interest to name the parties as joint managing conservators. I'm going to name Miss Randy Bell as the sole managing conservator of the child, and Mr. Jarvis Moblin will be considered a possessory conservator of the child. I'm also going to find that Mr. Moblin is not a resident of Jefferson County, nor does he live in a county that touches Jefferson County, so there will be no domicile restriction in this case. I'm going to order Miss Bell to continue to maintain the health and dental insurance that she has on the child through her employer, and I'm going to order Mr. Moblin to pay some of that cost. I can't make him pay all of it, but I can order him to pay some of it. I'm going to use a minimum wage presumption in this case to determine the child support and find that effective December the 1st of 2023, Mr. Moblin will pay $210 per month in child support, plus $85 a month in medical support, plus $10 a month in dental support. I'm also going to grant retroactive child support the amount of $8,100. And Mr. Moblin will be ordered to pay that back at a rate of $75 a month. All payments will begin December the 1st of 2023. Mr. Moblin will be granted state standard possession order as per Ms. Bell's request, that she's okay with that for now. We do have an older child, so if there's an issue, I'm absolutely certain that Jarvea will inform Ms. Bell. Mr. Moblin will be responsible for court costs, but I will give him until May 31st of 2024 to pay my court costs. Mr. Slett, did the state of Texas hear all the terms and conditions of my court order?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Miss Bell, what's going to happen now is Mr. Slett's going to send me a court order. If it matches what I said here today, I'm going to sign it and get it back to them. Then they're going to make a copy of it and send it out to you and to Mr. Moblin, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Slett's going to send me a separate order, and in that separate order, it's just going to simply say that Mr. Giles is not the father of the child. So that'll be a separate order. It may come in the same package to you, but it'll be two different orders, okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions about the ruling, Miss Bell?
No, sir.
Thank you for your patience, Miss Bell. I appreciate you being